Wir sind ein europäischer Gipfel, wir sind dynamisch und erlauben Sie mir für die nächsten Minuten kurz auch ins Englische zu switchen. And again, also from my side, Svetlana, congratulations to this important award. And well, we don't have so much time, so let us start, Svetlana. So many questions, hardly time for answers. So we learned a lot in the past month about your fight of freedom in Belarus, and then the war in Ukraine has happened. And de facto, Putin also has invaded Russia a couple of times ago. So with a look to the war in Ukraine, will Putin's war in Ukraine also accelerate the end of Lukashenko in Belarus? So apparently, can you hear me, Svetlana?
So yes, I want to remind you that only 3% of Belarusians support Belarus participating in the war, according to Chatham House. And this runs through all levels of society. We have seen in the last days a new wave of repression and also a purge even of Lukashenko's inner circle. He rotates officials and arrests people even who are close to him. This is a clear sign even of the insecurity in the regime. So we are seeing this discontent is growing and cracks within the elites are possible. And there is no question that it can accelerate his end.
Can we expect a palace coup very soon?
Sorry?
Can we expect a palace coup very soon? Are there any indications that maybe Belarus will be part of his, that Lukashenko will be part of history within the 2-3 weeks?
So there can be many scenarios of the outcome of the end of this regime. It can be in a coup d'etat, but what we understand is that we have to keep pressure on Lukashenko's regime. We have to create multiple points of pressure on him and on his cronies from inside the country and from outside the country.
If we look in a post-Lukashenko era, what are your expectations to Europe, to the German government especially?
I think that now is the fight between democracies and dictatorship in Russia and in Belarus, and I'm sure that democracy will prevail. And Germany is a very powerful country, democratic country, and now your task, the same as the tasks of different countries, to support those who are on the path to democratic changes. So, I'm sure that we have to keep good relationship between countries that share the values, common values.
And practically, what kind of support is now needed from us, from Germany?
So, first of all, we understand that to get rid of the regime, we, on the one hand, have to put pressure on regimes, on dictators, to isolate dictatorships economically, politically, but on the other hand, to support civil society, because the time of transition will come, and at this time we have to have a strong civil society. We have to strengthen media, different initiatives, organizations, our culture, just to be healthy when the time for transition comes.
Again, especially for Belarus, tougher sanctions are needed.
Yeah, I'm sure that the sanctions that are imposed on Russia should be duplicated on Belarus, but they have to be the same in strength but different in structure, because all the economic power is concentrated in in Lukashenko's area among his cronies, and in Belarus it's important to press on state organizations, on organizations that feed Lukashenko's regime. And what is important here is to create in Europe mechanisms of sanction enforcement to cut these possibilities to circumvent the sanctions that have been already imposed.
Thank you. Let's take a look to your neighbor country. So it's Russia. What future do you see for Russia, especially, and how should the future relationship be shaped with Russia?
For sure, I don't see how we can collaborate with Putin's Russia when it doesn't recognize Belarus as a country at all. But we also know that the regime in Russia will not exist forever. And we can think about building a new type of relations when there is a democratic and free Russia. Today, Russia only means war and despair for many Belarusians.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Svetlana. All the best to you. Und meine Damen und Herren, das war Svetlana Tikhanovskaya und ihr mutiger Freiheitskampf, der auch unsere Freiheit betrifft. Und ich finde, das verdient noch mal einen großen Applaus.